special show tonight for a special occasion, because tonight we celebrate the 200th edition of my show. Looking back at those shows, we've had just about every name you could think of and some extraordinary combinations. Well, tonight we've got both the big names and the intriguing combination. All the guests on my show tonight are superstars. One I won't mention because he's a surprise toward the end of the show. The other three are women who have become great stars of entertainment. One is a singer who left England 4 years ago to try her luck in America, and mainly because of a film called Grease, of which you may have heard, is now an international star. She is Olivia Newton-John. Olivia, of course, is an Australian, and so is another of my guests. She's the housewife superstar, one of the first ladies of world theatre, Dame Edna Everage.
Now, 4 years ago, my next guest came fourth in the Eurovision
Song Contest, which is a bit like being runner-up in the Donkey Derby. She then went to America and everything changed. Today, her records are bestsellers, her concerts are sellouts, and a film she just made with John Travolta called Grease has rocketed her into the superstar bracket. Ladies and gentlemen, Olivia Newton-John. Let me get the seating arranged properly, darling. Then we can see each other and talk to each other. You met before, in fact, haven't you?
Yes, that was in Deauville.
Yes,
Yeah.
about 2 months ago, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
And you got some advice, I believe, from Miss Swanson.
Yes, I certainly did. I was pouring my morning cup of tea, and Miss Swanson happened to be passing me as I was about to put a lump of sugar in my cup. And she said, "Oh, for goodness sake, don't poison your body." And I immediately dropped the sugar, and I've been trying not to eat it ever since, I must say.
Good girl, good girl.
I was amazed to read about you, actually, because one always assumes that people, pop stars, come from a certain area in life,
Yes.
you know, that you came from an academic background. Your uncle's a professor of pharmacology in London.
Yes.
Your father, vice-chancellor of a university in Melbourne. And your grandfather won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1954.
Yes. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
What happened to you?
Yeah. No, I just wondered. I mean, it was obviously a very academic upbringing that you had.
Yes.
One wonders how you sort of lurched into pop, if lurch you did.
I certainly did. I don't know, my family seems to have either been an academic or in show business. My nephew was in a Fellini film, and my sister became an actress. She left school. She was the first black sheep in the family.
Yes.
And I followed suit. I don't really know. I think, obviously, there's a lot of artistic talent in the family. My mother plays cello, and my father sings. He could have been an opera singer, actually.
Yes. So it's going back to genes again,
Yes, I think
in the genes, yeah. It was, in fact, was it a black sheep situation when you decided that you wanted to go and be a singer? I mean, did the family object?
Initially,
They
yes.
did?
My mother was very concerned that if singing didn't take off, would I have a career? She said, "You'll end up working in a shop somewhere and you won't have a career. You should go to university." And I realised that I wasn't going to get through matriculation, which was the final year, because I was too interested in singing, so I opted out of school. But
How old
for
was
a
that?
year, it was 15.
15, so you were in fact a classic dropout.
Oh, yes, I am. I'm a hippie.
Yeah. And came to London, in fact, didn't you?
I
that
did,
time?
yes.
Yeah.
Well, one of the first things I did, which really initiated my move to England, was I won a talent contest in Australia. And the prize was a trip here on a ship. And I was offered then a job on television in Melbourne for a year, which I took. But the prize was running out, and my mother said, "If we don't take the trip soon, it's going to, you know, just the ticket will be invalidated." So I left. I didn't really want to come here at all. She sort of dragged me by the hair. I thought it'd be good for me.
Yeah.
So.
You didn't actually have the easiest of rides here, did you? I mean,
No.
particularly to start with. You started off as a double act, didn't you?
Yes, I worked on my own for a little while, and then a girlfriend of mine from Australia came over. Her name is Pat Carroll. And we teamed up really for company because she was a solo artist and we didn't like being on our own. And we worked some pretty amazing places.
Did you? What, rough places?
Pretty. I think one of the roughest was Raymond's Review Bar, and we didn't realise that it was a strip club. We were just booked in there. And we used to wear these cute little dresses, you know, with little flowers around the collar and little mini skirts, and we used to go out singing in the rain and things. And we noticed that the audience were full of men, and we couldn't quite figure this out. And turned around, and there was a girl swimming nude in a fish tank. And we did about 2 songs, and it was like the hook, you know, 2 songs, and they said, "All right, love, that's enough, thank you very much." And we were paid off.
Gone forever.
Yes.
I mean, did you ever despair at that time when you were in Britain that you would ever make it to the top?
No, I think it was really all good fun. I think when you're starting out and you don't know any different, I don't think it's despair. It was all exciting and new to me. I hadn't done very much then.
What was really amazing, though, in the sense that it happened so quickly, was that when you made the break and went to America, you became literally overnight, didn't you not? I mean, became a massive star there.
Pretty much. I'd been back and forth for about 2 years. I had 3 sort of top 5 records in the space of about 9 months, which was pretty amazing. I mean, I was very fortunate. And from then on, I decided I should move there. And I'm glad I did.
Well, it's really, it's been, I mean, extraordinary. I mean, you couldn't have written the chapter yourself, could you, with a better sort of...
like a fairy story.
Yeah, absolutely. Why is it you think that the Americans took to you as readily as they did?
I really don't know. I wish I did know, because then I could tell other people how to do it too. But I think I was very lucky. I had the right records at the right time, and then I did a lot of live appearances, and it was readily acceptable. And I don't know. It's just been great.
Do you think it might be the image you have, this sort of clean-cut, you know, beautiful, but sort of, what's the word? Pure, I think, is the word they would use. Well, you know, I mean, this is what people always write about, isn't it? Do you think that that kind of image in America is more acceptable to the great mass of the public than it is here? Oh.
Yeah, I think so. It's a bit... From being the English Rose, I became American Apple Pie overnight.
Yeah, right.
And, yes, I think so. I was sort of, first of all, introduced there as a country and western singer, and then my records became sort of pop-oriented, or they crossed over, as they call it, over there.
Yeah.
Over there. And, yes, I think that image was more readily acceptable.
Is it an image that you find that you feel yourself stuck with?
I think it's a nice one to have.
You do?
I think, yeah, I'm very pleased to have any kind of image that is readily acceptable.
Yes.
But I'm not at all upset with it. The press has tried to make out that I'm trying to change my image and become something else, but really it's not the case.
Yes, yes. I was just looking at you there. I think I was mesmerised by you, actually. I was wondering if you ever felt to go right contrary to your counter to your image and do something really outrageous.
Yes, in fact, I was going to do it right now.
Really? Well, I mean, don't let me stop you. I mean, no, but do you have?
I think the furthest I've gone is probably Grease, which is at the end of the movie, where I do a complete change about from what people expect, and that was really great fun for me, because for 3 months of making the film I'd been this sweet little Sandy with the full skirts and the ponytail, and the last week of shooting I changed into this vamp. I suddenly thought I'd be doing it all wrong. I had the greatest time that week.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yes. What about the press in America? Because you've now reached that kind of stardom where you can't have much privacy at all. It's something that you've lived with all your life, Miss Swanson. I mean, do you find that they invent stories about you to try and break the image that you've got?
Oh, definitely.
They do?
Yes. Did you know, I just had a baby by John Travolta.
Did he know about it?
He doesn't know, and I didn't know either.
Is that fair?
Yes, all kinds of things like that. I tend to try not to read them anymore unless I want to laugh.
Yeah.
Because they're so terrible.
Really?
But I may as well have done all these things because they make them up anyway.
Yes.
They're just something you have to accept, I guess. Just turn the other cheek, as they say.
Did you have trouble like that? Because
Oh, indeed I did.
you had to live with people like Hedda Hopper and Luella Parsons, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
One day I was leaving the DeMille set, and he said to me, the key will be under the mat. And I looked at him because he wasn't inclined to do this thing, and I must have stared in a strange way. He said, Dad, don't you know? We have children up in the mountains. I hadn't heard it.
Really?
Yes, that's what they have to do. And many times my name would be linked with somebody whom I never knew. I even looked up in the telephone book to see if I could see who it was, if there was such a person.
Really? Extraordinary.
Yes. Well, these people, PR men, they have to send something in to something.
Yes.
And so they use you because you're a celebrity.
Are you looking forward to your new career as a film star? I mean, do you enjoy them making movies now?
I loved it.
You
but
really?
I think Grease was a rather amazing experience. I don't know that I'd be as lucky next time because the whole atmosphere on the set was rather like well, it was just like it looked. We had a great time and we were all dressed up and we all thought we were 17 again.
Yes.
And I think it was just a very, very special time. And
Yes.
there was a lot of dancing and singing and it was very light-hearted. So if I could do that again, it'd be great, but I don't know if I'll be so lucky next time.
No, it's a question of getting the right part, I
Yes.
suppose, isn't it? Do you get offered nude parts in movies and sort of thing?